Today we're celebrating inspiration. What up friends, Liron here. Thank you for joining me in another video. I'm sorry it's a bit noisy outside, so hopefully you can hear me well and all the drilling noises from the neighbors aren't coming through. In this video, I want to have this sort of a follow-up for the last video talking about inspiration and isolation. So as I mentioned, I'm going through a phase of moving away from isolation into inspiration. And as such, I'm taking a whole lot of new stuff on myself, trying to improve my style, trying to further develop it in places where it needs this help. What guides me through right now is wanting to have my paintings really tell a story and not just be an illustration of reality or something like a copy of what I see, a mindless copy. I want it to be full of life and energy and to actually express something. And this is something I'm really trying to figure out how to do right now. So I will mention I just bought the Passionate Artist, I think, of Alvaro Castaneda, the sort of DVD or video on demand version I got that shows a few painting processes, and it's really inspiring. And I want to show you some results from that. But I did, okay, some of you remember this one. I posted it on Instagram and I mentioned I will make a video about it. I actually have pictures of the entire process, but I don't necessarily want to go into that. I just want to show you how I think this is one step in the direction I want to go. In terms of, if you look at this, it's very loose on the people, so you kind of can fill in the gaps, and this is a comment I received. You can kind of imagine what they look like. You don't know all of the details, and this is the direction I want to take my art in, so I feel like this was a major step forward. It's overall a little more loose, and together with trying to go into the inspiration period, I start to understand that I continue striving towards the loose style. Because being more loose, I think, will allow me to transfer onto the viewer some kind of a message, to omit a lot of details that aren't really necessary and to really tell a good story. The beginning of this trend was actually this one here, that I posted the time-lapse and the process itself. You can see me here trying it. A lot of people mentioned this isn't really loose, and they're right, to some degree. But you can see me trying to let go of realism, like maybe desperately trying to let go of it, because it's hard for me. I see what I see and I want to just sketch it, I want to just paint it, I want to be accurate. It's hard for me to actually omit details and think about it and actually think about what I want to express and just drop stuff. So here, if you look at it, and you got a good look at it already, I know, but you can see this is me trying to just drop as many details as possible, still not really being able to do that. Another good example of this is these little sketches. The thing is, what makes these different from my other sketches of people is that these ones were made immediately, most of them immediately with the brush, no pencil lines, almost no, really minimum, like a scribble. And then the watercolor and the brush fill in the gaps. So this is another, I think, important step, especially this little figure right here. Hopefully you can see that one well, and this one as well. It's not obvious, it's kind of a dancer or something like this. So yeah, this is another step in that direction. Now I want to share with you something really humbling. So I started looking more again into Alvaro Castaneda's style, also Joseph's Bookwitch, but Alvaro Castaneda is something I focused a little more on. And I started just doing paintings, and what I love about this is just it shows how much this is a big challenge. To sort of shift gears and try out something new, and it was really outside of my comfort zone. So I'll show you a few results, and look at this. This is like my paintings when I was a month into watercolor. The funny thing is that there are some magical areas, like I like this area here. I like the way this light post comes through and sort of shines as more forward object, but overall not really that impressive, really. I don't know, I wasn't able to create the impression I wanted. That's what happens when you move away from, I'm just gonna improve in what I already am good at, and move towards new areas, unexplored territories. of styles and of approaches. I'll show you another one. So this one, I think, in terms of the expressing light and everything, it's much better. But still, I wasn't really able to. This one isn't really finished. I don't remember even why I didn't finish it. I thought I was done, but then looking at it back, it's glaringly obvious that it wasn't. There's some trees here that should be added, but what I really like, again, there's this magical spot here, is those people, I think, in the foreground. Okay, so this is really humbling because I'm trying some stuff that I don't, I could have easily approached this one the way I always do and just pull it off somehow. But I couldn't, because I tried something completely different from what I'm usually doing. Tried to use more of my expression and just simplify things, connect washes, make it very, very, very loose. And it's hard work. And I ran out of French ultramarine, so this is a disgusting phthalo green plus sepia, burnt sienna, which I don't like, but that's besides the point. But anyway, yeah. So this video, what I basically wanted to do, the whole goal of this is to celebrate this sort of beginning of a new period for me, which is starting the whole inspiration process. So I've been really, really down to improving my style and improving upon my own paintings and doing a lot of things. For example, this one also I kind of like. It has a lot of abstraction in the background. But this is still way into my comfort zone because it's a pen sketch, very organized. There are some magical points here. Hopefully you can see. You can see here there's a good gradual change, but then there's sharp edge. So it's hard, soft and hard edges kind of. All sorts of little subtle things like this that really help. And this is a new time for me to try and explore new things. The results are gonna be bad because it's outside of my comfort zone in the beginning, but I just can't wait to see what kind of thing it will add and infuse into my style. Because in a few months, when I go back to my isolation period, I already have all the lessons I learned from other masters that are doing styles that are completely different from what I'm currently doing. And I'm sure it will infuse into my own style that way. And this is how the cycle works. A lot of inspiration infused into your own style, then a lot of isolation, working on that, working on incorporating this. Because I do believe that it's impossible to just take someone else's style and just paint with it your entire life. I think there is a lot of subtleties that a lot of people may not notice. I don't want to give examples because I don't really have any, but if you just look at every artist, they have this little quirk in the way they work. They have these little things that make their approach subtle. A lot of people commented on my style that it's pretty well defined, and I can see it because it's what I'm used to. It's like familiarity blindness, I guess. But the more I do compare it to other people's work, I can tell, wow, okay, I do have some characteristics, I do have colors I like to go back to, I do have things like this. But what I think happens if you don't allow for the inspiration period is that you just sort of wither with your own style. With time, you're just doing the same old thing. I think it will get boring. I see some people doing that. They just, every painting looks kind of the same, and I don't mind, really, I don't mind, but for me, I kind of want to make sure that my style is not something that I'm comfortable with right now, and that's it. I want to take other inspirations in and infuse them into my creation, and this is exactly what this time is all about. That's the message of this video. I got the video on demand. It's like an hour and a half of Alvaro Castanet doing tons of paintings, and it's really interesting. I will try to follow up some of these. This will be a good first step. I think I'll get Joseph's book, Witch's book. Just try to develop that loose approach. Maybe then I'll go back to isolation. Then I'll go back to another style. Maybe I'll try hyperrealism. I don't know. I have no idea. But I do think all of these things will help. Okay, so this seems like a good point to wrap up this video. I think I'll just move in circles from now on. So thank you so much for watching. If you still haven't, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also follow me on Instagram and Snapchat if you want to see more personal updates and works in progress. And I will see you again with another cool, awesome video tomorrow.